Hi, this is Lou Covey with New Tech Press, speaking from our secret underground bunker somewhere in Redwood City, California. And I'm going to be doing a series of reports this week on the Magma Music Conference. That's the Magma User Summit for ICs, or on ICs, that was held in San Jose this week. But first we're going to do an interview with Rajeev Madhavan, CEO of Magma Design, to talk about some of the announcements that they made. So tell me a little bit about Tekton.
So Tekton is a static timing analysis engine, but if you think about it, all the timers that was there before was written to retrofit the effects of variability that came about in subsequent process nodes that it came about, right? So prime time, a 15-year-old, 20-year-old technology, add on bolt one feature after the other, like on-chip variation, multiple modes, and all these scenario effects. What we got an opportunity to do from the ground up was something that can actually handle all this variability all in one single sweep in the computer. So we wrote this with the intention that we have to be at least 10 times faster. We're seeing significantly north of that in benchmarks. And not only that, in existing timer technologies that are out there, like prime time, you have to run each mode and corner on times mode, it's called a scenario mode times corner. You have to run them on one computer. So let's say you have 20 scenarios that you have to simulate, then you have 20 runtimes. We can sweep it all in one runtime with no runtime or memory penalty. So with one computer, say an 8 CPU computer, we have been able to do 31 million instances in about 15 to 20 minutes runtime. And that would take like 20 hours times the number of scenarios that are there in an existing competing tool. Now it's also unique in that when we went into beta in November, early November, our plan was 6 beta sites, right? I mean, which is what you do in any of these new tools. We were very impressed with the stability that suddenly and the reception was very, very hard from our customers. We went to 32 beta sites, which we've never done in my EDA career. I've never done a tool where we have 32 beta sites going on at the same time. We also, in my EDA career, I've never had as much differentiation in any tool that I've launched, period. Tekton QCP is essentially an order of magnitude in scale. It can do pretty much every chip we have done in about 30 minutes of runtime. And that's a big game changer. If you could make changes and you can analyze it, and we have an extraction tool which is similar, about 20, 30 minutes, in about less than an hour, any chip pretty much can be analyzed with the accuracy, with a very high degree of accuracy. What that means is you can make changes, do what-if analysis, etc., much more quicker, taking into account all those multiple scenarios that you have in your design. So to compare it with the existing status quo, you need 20, 40, or how many ever number of computers you need per scenario, times the number of software licenses. There's one copy of this software running on maybe an 8 CPU machine, 1 CPU machine, and we will blow the runtimes and performance metrics.
So you're going from 20 to 30 machines to one
Well,
machine.
20 to 30 is actually a low number. There are customers who are doing 80 scenarios verification. I know one customer where they have 9 modes, 3 corners, 27 scenarios for hold, and 27 for setup, 54. So you kind of have 54 to 80 are very common now. And 54 to 80 means 80 machines. Each of them requires high memory footprint with status quo tools, whereas we need one computer. We can run this an order of magnitude faster and get it done very, very quickly.
How do you expect to make money off of something like this? I mean, aren't you supposed to be selling lots of seats to make money?
Well, that's a fantasy in EDA, right? That the licenses is the count. The value you provide actually allows you to extract more value from the customers. If you're providing that kind of differentiated technology value, customers will pay in this business.
Okay. So you did Tekton from the ground up. You didn't base it on anything else, and you've got a couple of other products that you're talking about today that are the same way.
Yeah, we had an extraction tool, which is called QCP, completely from the ground up, with multi-corner aware right from the get-go. It has built into 3D extraction and 2.5D extraction algorithms. It can actually allow you to have error tolerance. So if you're doing custom designs and I want accuracy of 3D, it can do 3D. It can parallelize it. Again, we are seeing somewhere in the vicinity of 5 to 10x runtime advantage, not the 10 to 20x that we are seeing in the other two, but 5 to 10 is substantial runtime improvements. We scale on any number of computers that you can provide. So we have an extraction engine that's very new as well. And then there are a couple of tools that we announced today which are sort of not new, but new in the methods in which we do, like this whole concept of doing Monte Carlo in FineSim, right? In Spice, instead of running it and toggling every variable, we actually can do it statistically. Interdependent variables are decided, and we reduce the amount of simulation you need quite considerably. So these things have been used in oil, natural, and oil gas exploration space technology. It's being brought into EDA by us in terms of how it is being brought in Spice. So very unique, very, very unique new things have been launched by Magma. All of these are basically allowing you to do things you can't do today, or you can do with lots of pains, lots of computers, lots of cost that you're bearing.
Okay, so that's part of the new business model, is that you're just giving people the freedom to do things from the ground up. But you also mentioned something else. You're talking about how the Magma tools can be used as point solutions, and you're not necessarily pushing people to build everything within the Magma environment.
So what?
Even though, yeah, it's true that you would like people to buy all your tools and use all your tools.
Absolutely. We have a fully integrated platform. We have a big launch on that, again, coming up in DAG timeframe for our Talus platform. Some very unique things from the technologies we have learned in timing and extraction that we've learned in these point tools. But one of the things we realized during recession is if you're actually in a market where you take 6 months to do evaluations, when the tight budgets are very tight, number of engineers being spent on testing new tools, which is what Place and Route and a whole integrated platform will take in terms of evaluation cycles, that's a tougher and a longer battle for Magma to fight. Whereas something like Tekton today, it went from 6 to 32 in 3 months. We have a pipeline of about 30, 40 customers that are asking us to bring it on site now. So it actually is much quicker for me. So from a business perspective, I don't have to wait 6 months of an evaluation cycle. And I can finish the benchmarks quicker, get a piece, earn your trust, earn the differentiation, go to the next piece, earn your trust, gain more respect, and eventually, obviously, we want to sell you the fully integrated platform we have. But if the pieces in the platform are not good, then I don't think we're ever going to win. And I have to be able to sell those pieces in a standalone differentiated value proposition and be able to gain market share on those pieces.
So you're almost going back to a startup mentality.
Oh, we ran the company as a startup. I mean, all these projects that I'm talking today, every week I ran them. They had to present to me every week, so it was like a startup. I mean, this was a high intense 1.5 years where I ran R&D to the level of nuts and bolts. Didn't have the chance to go to customers until November, until these things went into beta. From November, I've been flying a lot, but a year to 1.5 years, I was totally running a startup. A little bit of a bigger startup, but it was nonetheless a startup.
Was that exciting for you?
It was a great period in terms of technology, there's no doubt. But it was also a tough period in the fact that you have the economy against you, the recession against you. But great companies are done, great technologies are done during recession, because you focus on deployment first and foremost, not just I got a great technology, I'm not focusing on deployment. Here you always think about deployment because customers don't have resources to spend unnecessarily.
Excellent. So a vision for